When using Dreamweaver, don't use this design view. You need to be able to see the code and also design it at the same time. So I recommend having split view running. That split view here. It's generally easier not to have them side by side, but to have the one on top, the code on top. So press split vertically. The other things I suggest you have is this properties window at the bottom, and this properties at the side as well, that shows the properties of the different parts that you're in, the CSS values and so on. To get those, if you haven't got the properties window, make sure that you've got this selected here in the window, properties. Then that thing will pop up at the bottom. Similarly, if you want to make sure that you've got this thing on the right hand side here, and you haven't got it, if you go to Window, then Workspace Layout there, and go to make sure you've got Designer selected, and then if you've got Designer selected, then press Reset Designer, and then this one that says Business Catalyst over here, just go over and close it, and then you should have the Properties window on your right there, which shows the settings of the current thing you're in. So you see this one here, it shows the settings of the current bit of CSS you're in, so it shows the color and the width and all this sort of stuff. You can also see that at the top here it shows the HTML file, so if you want to you click on header there, then you can see that's which part of the code you're in. Click on menu there, then you scroll down a bit, so just click on main section for example, and it'll go, you'll see in the code where the main section is. If you want to change settings, so imagine I want to change for example the settings of the header. I want to change the color and I want to change the size of it. It's a height, maybe I want to make the height to be 150 instead of 75. Let's click over on the right hand side here, click 150 and change the color to be something else, maybe some sort of darker blue. I should have the menu in there, that's why I did that. But any part of it you can do that. So the header, I do the same, try and make it to a similar color. Remember that this is changing. You've got two files here. You've got the HTML file. You also have the CSS file. So click on the CSS file over here, and you can see the CSS code. So you can move between the two of them, the HTML, CSS. But you can also see the CSS on the left when you it shows the bit that you actually got selected at the time. Let's see how to start entering some text. Suppose now, for example, I want to put Welcome to Naples in the top of my heading there. I see that I look to see what it is in the code. I can just go and select the bit where it says header and type in Welcome to Naples. I want to make sure that this is a paragraph, so I'd just refresh here first to see what it looks like. I want to make that into a heading, so I can make it into an H1 heading, so I put H1 around it. Like that. Oops. Again, refresh it. You can also work by, for example, suppose I want to create some more code under there. I can and do carriage return in the bit at the bottom, and then it gives me see what's happened there is it creates a new paragraph with a space in it, and I say something like, this is a website about Naples. At the moment all the text in here is black. If I want to make the font color different, I can go over here and add property to the properties for header. So for example, like the one that's set for font color is just called color. So I'd go down here, find the one that says color, and then set that to be white. It changes there. Okay, so similarly, if I wanted to put something in the main section, so click on here, and it'll bring up the code of the main section over here. See, what I want to do is cut and paste some stuff in there. I'm going to cut and paste it from Wikipedia. So got some stuff here about from Wikipedia. If I select that and copy using Control-C, going back to Dreamweaver, I have to be careful now when I actually paste it in that I'm not going to mess up what's there already. So what I'm going to do is to go to Edit, and instead of doing a normal paste, do a paste special, and then do text only, because otherwise it will copy over all the HTML, the stuff from the Wikipedia site as well, and maybe mess up my structure. So press text only, press OK, and it puts in the code there. Then I can just start cleaning it up a bit. It's come from some of the stuff I probably don't want, like for example the numbers here, which are from Wikipedia. So I can, and these sort of things, like simple edits. It's quite easy to do it in either design or in the code bit, like up here. See here, I can get rid of some of the stuff maybe I don't want. Oops, and not like that though. Looking back in Wikipedia, I might want to use some of these images in my website. So for example this one. This is a panoramic view. So I've got here I can actually download the file from Wikipedia. So I download it. May I download a large version of it. I'm going to save it in the same place as I've got my website. Create a folder called images. And then save it. Okay, back in the Dreamweaver code, I want to put it above this paragraph. I find it be quite fiddly trying to do that in the designer, so I'm going to show you how to do it in the code. You can see here that from where, if you click on the design bit there, then you can see in the code where you are. I want it to be above there. So I'm going to do a new, so in the code bit I'm going to do a new line, then I'm going to start entering the code for image, which is img. So click img, and then src for source, then you press equals, then press the quotation mark, the one above the shift 2, and it clicks on browse. Then you should be able to browse for your file. Try and make sure that you put it in the subfolder of the web, the way you've got the rest of your web pages, like images. Double click on that, and there's a couple of things you can add, like alt, which is the description of it. Alt equals. Then we just do a slash. We just finish it off like that, and then press F5 or the refresh button at the bottom to refresh it. Okay, and then you've got you can see the picture there. It's a bit too big, as it seems to be at the moment. You can just drag it. You can just in the designer, just click on it, and just drag it so it's and automatically it'll get these values in there to make them small, make itself smaller. Okay, so Right, so you've now added some text, added some pictures, and all you really need to do is to make sure that you've got some text and pictures in there, and you've got some formatting for them. In the resources on Moodle, I've shown different ways you can format different sections of the code in order to get different sort of effects with the images and the paragraphs and so on. So follow some of those techniques by you can either copy the code from there or sometimes cut and paste it. But as I say, when you're doing it, the best thing is to be you working with both the designer and the code, and keeping an eye on the code and seeing what's happening. Remember, once you've typed, like for example, this code for the image here, once you've typed it in, then you've at the bottom, the properties section, it's got all the different settings, and you can change them in this dialog box as well. Which makes it slightly easier than trying to type in the codes up here. So, for example, if you get the name of the file wrong, you can reload it from here, or you can change the auth text, or you can change the height and width here as well, as well as just editing it by dragging and dropping it. Equally, on the properties section over here, you can change the settings for the different part of the CSS you're in, and you can also add different properties, things like, for example, font size, and that sort of thing. If you want to have a look at the CSS code, you just go here to where it says style1.css and the source code over there. Go out to the source code over there.